Hello and welcome to the third one. This is the last one for this week. I've had a couple of feedback, thanks thanks for that. I don't really see any other way of doing it really, so, and obviously if I get time today I'll set up the live FTSE members only trade calls, so basically people know that been in the room anyway, know we trade these live, and I know there's a few people who haven't got room access, so hopefully they'll benefit from what we'll do on the new live Twitter. Just bear with us a while, because it does take time to set these things up. But once they're running, so. Okay, this is Thursday's trade. I didn't do anything on Wednesday. If you have a look on the blog, there's no setups. Not that we took anyway. There might have been a few setups, sorry, but not when we were around. Thursday we were on the microphone at 8 o'clock, as you can see here. And we had news out at 9:30, so we weren't really looking to do anything. I know, some members probably get a bit frustrated that we don't immediately trade, but we're not going to trade if we don't see there's no such thing as a surefire setup, but we're not going to trade just to try and keep people happy because we're on the microphone for half an hour or an hour. There's lots of trading rooms that do that, and if that's what you want, then there's other ways of doing it. That's not what we're here for. Trading on the microphone, I've done it before. I did it for an American company in Forex, and it is difficult because you get some people that will just literally give you grief for not trading. Some people will give you grief when you trade and they lose, and you might get a thanks if you trade and they win, but that's not what we're here for. So we will come on the microphone in the morning, and after July, we all know, well, the people that we've been helping for the last sort of 6-9 months know that we've got commitments till about July, which means we can't do as much as we want to on the mic. Hence we'll do it on the live Twitter, on the new members Twitter. But once we get that project out of the way, then it'll be sort of like I'm in the room normally during the day, but we'll be able to have a half an hour introduction on the microphone and then come on back on the mic when the setups occur for the morning. And probably do, in fact Chris has just emailed me actually, thanks Chris for that, a personal message. We'll probably come to some arrangement where we'll do sort of the first 3 or 4 hours London, and then that'll be it for the day rather than being around all day, because we've got other things to do, and as you've seen, we want to make our money when the setups occur and again do something else, as Chris reminded me. That's what we're here to trade for. So, but it's like anything else, it's organic, so we'll work it out as it goes along. So anyway, we didn't do anything on the open. I know one of the guys took this spike down here because this was the previous level at 70, and it was also I think it was a 4-hour resistance as well, but we didn't do it, and I know one of the guys made his money who was in the room at the same time, so well done to that. But I couldn't have taken that trade myself. Not that there's anything wrong in it, but you have to be very careful when you get to these levels. You need to make sure your stops in place. If it goes through, it's likely to carry on. But excellent trade. And we see this level now. We were on the microphone to about here, and then we left, and then chop news. I think it was 9:30 news, or CPI or something. We don't like trading into news, although we do sometimes if we have to do. And then again, market comes down, bounces around. This was a perfect setup here. If I'd have been in the live market here, I'd have been all over this for a long, with a stop below this, so you could run a 15 pip stop, 50%. So again, remember we keep the risk reward ratio the same. So basically, if we're 100%, we have to run a 10 or 11 pip, allowing for the spread, which is 1 pip on Capital's platform. It's half a pip each way on pro spreads, but just forget, people get hung up about that. Don't worry about it, it's just a pip. And we'd need to stop down here, but we need it a couple of pips below here, so I'd be looking at 15, so it'd be 50% or 75% possibly. Probably would have been 75% actually. This is like we know 80s, it bounced off 80 before. If you look at previous days, so yeah, it bounced once over this side, then twice, then 3 times, 4, 5, 6. We'd have been all over this for long, but we missed it. And again, Chris's pullback here. Don't enter as this candle comes down, but wait for it to break back up, and then you can enter anywhere into this candle here, because you've got security that if it breaks below here, then you need to get out. And I hope Chris is smiling if he listens to these videos, because that's his trade. He loves them. Comes back up, straight up. There we go, straight into the weekly highs. Obviously the news, whatever came out, was good. And this is actually probably American news or something, I don't know. And I'll look at the chop in here. Again, these are levels we've been trading all week, so we'd have banged it high up here. Again, you don't know this is going to stop. This could have gone straight up. It could have gone off the top of the screen. But when it stalls, this stalls, comes back down, this goes up, this makes it by a couple of pips and stalls. You just need to be all over this. You know, we all know 20 is the year high. Oh, sorry, you should know that 20 is the year high. Certainly people that have been in our room this week know that, because we've been talking about it. You know, so you can put 15 pip again, 75% or 50% position. You know, we've been shorting this all week, as anyone that's watched this video in order will know. But we didn't take this because we were busy on stuff, and it comes down, chops about. And we were just getting ready for our Thursday part 2 training. There was a few people in the room that had never even done part 1. But as we've got 25 seats, you know, we may as well try and fill them. And we don't really care if people pay or not, to be honest, at some point. But you know, we're here to help, and we just got some costs that we like to cover. That's all. So, you know, we charge them what we think's a nominal fee compared to a lot of people. I mean, some live rooms are 100, 200, or more pounds a month, and there's no need for that. You know, Omnovia costs us Omnovia costs us, and you can go and find that price for yourself if you want to. You know, it's the best there is, but there's an expense to it, so we're only looking to cover our overheads. And anyway, so we were looking at, me and Chris have been chatting. I mean, I've known Chris for about 9 months, I think, and we've been chatting that Sod's Law means we'll end up trading through training. What happened? The market came up to here. I couldn't resist it. And this was like, I can't remember what time it was, about 20 past 6, and we're training at 7, and I hadn't tweaked part 2 yet. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So we ended up having a laugh through training, and we covered about 30% of it. And we were calling all the time. I mean, there must be there's definitely 2 new people that must have thought, what the hell are you on about? We were calling all the time, it's going to go to 0-0. You know, we can't control this. We're not magic ball, but we know it's bounced off these levels. We know that 20 is the high of the year-ish. Again, we're not bothered about a few pips. And the time of day. You know, there's only Americas that are in, so what happens if the price goes down? So we got out. Our stop, we actually put a take profit. I think it was 0.1, so we're looking at making 12 or 13 pips, and we got out a bit early down here somewhere. We got out for 9 because, to be honest, I didn't really want to do any trading after that because I was just getting distracted. You can do the simple maths yourself. You know, it's 450 quid at the end of the day. It's not bad for an hour and a half's work or an hour's work with very limited upside. You know, if the market wants to go up there, then we're all proved wrong. But pros, you know, they know this, and people like Michael that we've been helping for a while, you know, he was all over this as well. You know, no one's going to be buying up here. Well, sorry, I rephrase that. No one that knows what they're doing will be buying up here anyway. And then the market sells off. And if you look at what happened on Friday's market, the market crashed right down past 70, bounced off 70, and then carried on going down. And in an ideal world, you know, we'd like to have scaled out at this probably and left it running, but we didn't. So this is warts and all. But with hindsight, and again, we'll try and cover this more in training, but this is the sort of move that makes you money for the month or the week, because you can take your full position on that. You've got, you know, lots of security above here at 19. You can take your full position, lots of confidence, scale out at 10 for 75%, bank your money, move your stop to +1, and then come back tomorrow and see where you're at, and you'd have made, you know, a decent amount of money, or a decent amount of pips, whichever way you look at it. You know, and again, I think we had a few private emails, but if this had been a Monday and we'd have made our money for the week in a Monday, we wouldn't have traded again all week. So I hope you take the point. Okay, that's us done for the week. 3 trades. Were we lucky? No, not really. We're just playing the highs. It's a different ball game next week because we've broken out the bottom of the range, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. Okay, thanks very much for listening, and I'll definitely see you next week. Trade safe.